just about an hour ago, I was there inside that courthouse watching as Luigi Mangione walked right past myself and a number of other reporters. He was wearing a blue shirt, blue jeans. He was, of course, handcuffed, and he looked, even in this court appearance, visibly distressed, but he kept his brow furrowed through the duration of this arraignment hearing. He also said that he's worked for 3 years as a data engineer up until about a year ago, and he also told the judge that he has no drug or mental health problems that the court needs to know about. But Aaron, one of the most interesting parts of that particular hearing was actually his statements after the conversation about bail. The prosecutors basically stepped up there and made the case why they believe that this man should be held without bail. They mentioned that he is awaiting potentially an arrest warrant coming from New York City as one of the major reasons. But they also said that prosecutors noted that they found him with $8,000 in U.S. cash, $2,000 in foreign currency, his passport, and also a Faraday bag, which is basically a bag designed to stop transmission of cell service or other sort of things like that. At the end of his speech, the prosecutor's speech, Luigi Mangione said, I actually want to address two of the things that you said. He said, I don't know where that money came from. I'm not sure if it was planted. And then he also said that that bag was waterproof. And the term that the prosecutors used when discussing the Faraday bag, the ghost guns, the 3D printed silencer, was the prosecutors used a phrase saying this is criminal sophistication. Luigi Mangione said, I don't know about any of this criminal sophistication when addressing that.
According to Luigi Mangione's alleged manifesto, he planned to kill United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson as an act of war after the company violated its contract with his mother. The document stated Kathleen Mangione, who was diagnosed with neuropathy, hit her $6,000 deductible of her United Healthcare plan in October and was forced to live with pain so severe he heard her shrieking in the night. The manifesto reveals Luigi compared himself to gladiator's Maximus Decimus Meridius, claiming his rage surged as he witnessed his mother's suffering during United Healthcare's repeated delays and denials.
Hey everyone, Matt here with the Relief Valve Podcast. Just wanted to do another update for everybody. This is going to be on, you can find the show on YouTube, Rumble, and now we're back on TikTok as well. I wanted to give some new updates on Luigi. Fucking Luigi, he shoot everybody. So the United Healthcare assassin, he's been brought to court. He yelled some words when he was getting out of the car. This is unjust, and it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people and their lived life or something like that. Some left-wing garbage is what they say. You live your own life. You can be whatever you want to be. Live your life. So it already shows you he was a left-leaning nut job. He went to an Ivy League school. We know most of those schools are indoctrination centers at this point. That's what he yelled when he was getting pulled out of the police SUV, for anybody that missed that. So he has been arraigned at this point, and they have denied his bail. Contrary to what everyone was saying on here, this is why you have to be so careful about getting your news on TikTok, claiming that he had monopoly money and it was the exact amount to pay back United Healthcare or pay back whatever for his bill. That was all bullshit. It was real money that was in his backpack, and it was like $8,000 in American cash and another $2,000 in euros to use overseas. That was what was in his bag. That's another reason that he's been denied bail, is because he's a flight risk. He'll attempt to escape. They did catch him at the McDonald's. I'm not so sure it was a worker. I think it was, they're blaming it on a worker, and I keep hearing two different stories. One side is saying it was a McDonald's worker that saw him, went in the back, made the phone call. But I've seen an older man that's been interviewed who said he's the one that saw him and he made the phone call, and he was a customer sitting in the dining area, having a coffee or whatever, and noticed the guy sitting there being weird because, the people are like, how did you figure out that this was the guy? Well, he wore his mask the whole time as if it was COVID, and then he would pull it down to eat, and then he would put it back up again. So the guy was acting really suspicious. He was in the similar clothes from what he did when the shooting happened. But, you've got people on TikTok and stuff like this giving you bad information. He had real money in the backpack. His manifesto was in the backpack. Now he has this idiot lawyer who's representing him who's like, well, we're going to be saying not guilty because they have zero information or zero facts that my guy was the shooter, other than his backpack had a ghost gun. His backpack had the manifesto that he wrote out saying, "I went after these parasites, and this is why I did what I did," and it had the money in it too. And he was in the next state over in Pennsylvania after the shooting, hiding out there, and I'm assuming trying to eventually work his way to getting a flight out of the United States. So that's some of the updates on what is really going on. So he's locked up, bail's been denied, and then they'll be moving forward for the trial from this point. The other thing is, and you saw this in the video here, he comes from a well-to-do, influential family. Okay, they own a couple of golf courses and clubs and stuff, and they own an elder healthcare service as well. These people are not hurting for money at all, and also he didn't have a personal gripe against United Healthcare. This new alleged information that's coming out that I put in this video, and I can't confirm it currently. But the information is coming out is that his mother had a health plan through United Health, and that she had maxed out her $6,000 coverage. She was suffering horribly. She would wake up in the middle of the night screaming, and again, allegedly, and then they wouldn't cover her for any other additional services, so they were having to pay out of pocket or whatever, like they didn't have the money to do it. But I get the sentiment of it. And this was the reason he specifically chose the CEO of United Healthcare. I'm waiting for a little more information in order to prove that, but it would make a little more sense if that was the case, why he specifically focused so heavily on the CEO of United Healthcare, because it was retribution in his eyes for his mother and in what she was going through. Again, we'll wait to see if that gets fleshed out and that really is the truth. But there was pictures on I have, if you go to my X account, which is the Relief Valve Podcast on X, formerly Twitter, I posted up some stuff from his webpage. As a matter of fact, I can't remember if I followed him. Elon Musk put his page back up. It was taken down originally. He put it back up so everybody could see. And he had pictures posted up of a back surgery that he went through. Now, apparently, he was in such pain. This back surgery that he had, it looked like upper back from the spine coming up to the neck. And this could be a problematic surgery, so he came out of it with a lot of pain. And it was making it so he couldn't be in a relationship and he couldn't be intimate because of the pain, or maybe the medication, because that can work against you to numb you as well. But he couldn't be allegedly sexually active. He was living in Hawaii with other people in kind of a group house thing, sharing rent or whatever, and hanging out with them. And then eventually, after having the surgery, he kind of disappeared and dropped off the radar. And then that flows into this assassination, alleged for legal purposes, that it was the alleged assassination attempt. And that it wasn't him specifically that the point being that he went after United Healthcare. It was allegedly on behalf of what his mother went through, which I can understand the sentiment. I can understand a son feeling like they have to take action for something that happened to their mother. You know, as most people know, generally the sons have a much stronger bond with their mother than they do with their father, because the mother is loving and nurturing. And and then vice versa for the daughter being with the dad and the son being with the mother. So you can understand that general sentiment. I don't agree with the action, only because aside from the revenge portion of it, or what perceived the revenge portion of it, again, as I said in a previous video, cutting off one head of the Hydra is not going to collapse the entire company. Maybe you have some CEOs looking over their shoulders. Maybe you have some CEOs taking some extra precautions at this point moving forward. They're not going to change their whole practice. They're not going to change how they, and they can't change how they're regulated and how they have to run the business and how they have to charge customers and yada, yada. That kind of comes from the government for all that. And there's people that can explain that far better than me. But they're not going to change their overall practices. You off to one CEO, another person is going to rise to that rank and take over, and now they have the money to pay for a private security force as well. So now they're not going to travel anywhere unless they've got their protection, so that they're not the next person on their list. And I didn't post it up on here, but apparently flyers are going around, I think New York or other major cities, I think at least in New York, where it's saying, they don't necessarily say it, but they're posting pictures of other CEOs from other health companies or maybe other CEOs in general. I'll try and reshare that on my page so you guys can see it. But now it's like hit lists that are being put out there so that other would-be assassins can maybe target these other CEOs as well. It's just a bad precedent of vigilantism that it's not going to help out or work out for anyone. You have to work through policy to change how this all works and how they cover Americans or whatever country you're in and you're dealing with the healthcare. You've got to work on making changes from inside the system so that it becomes for the betterment of everybody. But going around and turning into a vigilante to just to take these people out, maybe you'll scare a couple of them into moving forward with something or not moving forward with something or making a little change here or a little change there. But for the most part, that particular insurance monster will just keep lumbering forward. You don't stop it that way. You stop it by making changes within the system. So, guys are looking at this. Some people are looking at this guy as a hero. I just see him as, these elites that grow up. They have no idea what real pain and suffering is. They've never had to really face real adversity in a day in their life because money could pretty much solve everything. I mean, if this story is true about the mother, I'm surprised to find out why they didn't have the money to just, other than being angry at the company for the cutoff, why didn't you just start paying out of pocket? I'm assuming they've got some pretty decent money. I've seen the aerials of their house, pretty nice. Why didn't you just start paying out of pocket for the rest of her treatment so she could keep going, or maybe purchase another plan or figure something else out? You cheaped out and you got the United Healthcare plan that has a cap of 6,000, and you have a family member that has cancer or something else. That's not smart. If you can afford something better and you can afford to buy private coverage, I would say that's what I would have done. I would have kicked United Healthcare and I would have picked up another one, shelled out the extra money, and made sure that she got the services that they needed. But there are some things that I'm guessing and putting into place right now because I can't even prove that at this point in time that the mother was the reason that this entire action happened. But I just wanted to update everybody on that, get that on my Rumble, get that on my YouTube, and for you guys on TikTok. And I'll be coming with another update after this because Daniel Penny, as you're already aware, has been found not guilty of the murder charge in New York. And I just got to do an update on everyone on that as well, if you didn't already know it. All right, thanks everyone. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. We're on YouTube, we're on Rumble, we're on back on TikTok again. And then, of course, I have the audio portion that you can find the audio portion of the show wherever fine podcasts can be found. All right. Thanks, everyone. We're trying it again here on YouTube as well. And hope the anti-free speech shitbags don't kick me off of this. All right. Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon.